out, dog. It's the moon. Can't see it very well, but oh well. It's August 6th, 8:48 p.m. This is diary number 40. 4-0. You know what that means? Chances are I have broken the world record for daily video logs during the commercial development, or development of a commercial game consecutively. I mean, I don't know if anyone else has ever done that before, and if they have, surely I'm still at least top 5. And I've got another, I suspect, altogether in the end, this could end up taking 300 days. It would be pretty sweet if I could end this on exactly diary 300. I think that'd be sick. But we'll see what happens. Either way, I'm killing it. Had a good day today. Very productive, and, well, let me show you what I did. It's mostly visual stuff for the Archer level. As you can see, a lot of different things going on here. First of all, I finished decorating the exterior. I made it a little different in comparison to the first several levels. So first of all, the roofing of the building, as you can see here, is quite different from the other first 4 levels that use the blue roofing style. And then the outside areas for pretty much all the other previous levels are more wider than they are long, and that's how I've been setting them up. And also they've got this stone gravel ground. Here we've got a new ground, and we've got I decided to go for a more like narrow pathway, mix things up a little bit, make it more interesting. You got your dead archer dudes that you killed. Some visual storytelling there, implying that you killed them when you came in through the gate. And a little flower setup that I got set up here, you know, flowers and trees. It's kind of nice. So yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, set that up. I have some other assets, some other alternative assets for this exterior area as well, and I'm gonna introduce them more and more as you get further into the act. This is level 5, and there's 8 in total. So as I go through the next 3 levels, I'm gonna put it more and more into the final style of the full exterior alternative art set. Other than that, yeah, I set up the lighting, as you can see, at least the global lighting, and I wanted to get more into actually decorating the inside of the level as well. Here I didn't finish the roof because I'm gonna wait for Amanda to switch up these rooms to extend them, so no point in doing them right now. Gonna wait for that. And then, yeah, I wanted to set up all the props and stuff inside. But right when I went to do so, I was thinking, you know what, I've got another 3 of these levels to make, and it's a pain in the ass to drag everything in and set it up, and I don't know why I didn't consider doing this before. So I didn't have any prefab set up. I would just drag the sprites in and manually set everything up. So I took the time today, and this took quite a while, to go meticulously through every single level I have set up so far and create a prefab out of every single prop that exists in every level. Basically all the props that we set up for the first act of the game. Then you've also got a folder of wall art here and some wall damage sprites as well. So this is all set up so that I can just drag and drop very easily. Make my life a lot easier for the future construction of the remainder of the levels in this act. And other than that, I did some other things too. Oh yeah, I set up also like just some lighting effects here as well. Obviously you can see I brightened up the spotlight on the player and Genyu because that was a little dim. And I also set up lighting on the enemies themselves. So you'll see what I mean now. They highlight when you're playing the game. Let me pop out a lot more like the enemies in the other levels do. You see what I mean? Just really pop right out once you're going into those rooms now. And I went also for, as you can see, a kind of like more bluish moon, very heavy moon tint, almost greenish kind of hue. I haven't really done this tint, I think, in any other level yet, so I thought it'd be cool to mix this up as well. Give it a unique feel to it. Oh, one thing I want to quickly fix there. Keep forgetting every time I walk by this. This room is supposed to have a kickable object in the middle. I turned it off to mess around with something, so there you go. Put that back in. And one other thing I just struck me, I forgot to do today that I wanted to do today was to set it up. Set it up so that enemies can shoot arrows at each other. Avoid shooting arrows at each other, but make it so that they can hit each other accidentally. Just as a cool little Easter egg move that you can do. So I guess I'll get around to doing that tomorrow instead. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it for the actual game itself. I have 2 meetings I mentioned set up with publishers. I have basically in second level of talks with all the publishers now. Asia region publishers specifically. I'm still going to do self-publishing everywhere else. This is just for China and Japan and maybe a few other countries in Asia region, since it's hard for me to reach them myself. And yeah, first meeting with one of them, the Japanese publisher specifically, but general Asia region publishing for the other 2 publishers I'm talking to that I've already had a meeting with, and that I'm kind of in the second stage now talking to them. So that's pretty cool. Sent in the advanced replacement request for my GPU I've been having problems with. Hopefully they'll get back to me real soon and I can fix that up, and that'll make my life a little more convenient. I think that's it. Went outside on my daily walk, wrote another script, edited my script, and also wrote another one for my short promotional videos. Right now, I didn't get around to doing it the other night when I said I would, but right immediately after I finished making this video, I'm going to go ahead and finally start filming and experimenting with that and see how that goes. Got some good ideas for that. Still excited about it. And that's pretty much it on the game. As for the rest of my life, last night when I went out to chill for a while to the park, as I usually do, as I did today, there was this guy who I've noticed sitting there a few times who brings out his guitar, and he's always jamming through a whole bunch of different chords for 10, 20 minutes at a time. He really goes for quite a while. And the first couple of nights when I saw him there, it occurred to me that it might be cool to sample some of his playing and try to use it somewhere in the Six Samurai soundtrack, because he has kind of an interesting, wild way of playing. It's sort of like an almost experimental folk type of playing. I don't know how else to describe it. Prog rock, experimental folk or something. He seems to just get super high and then jam out for like 20 minutes in the park. But I think perhaps due to a lack of significant amount of human contact for the past year or so of my life, I did not work up the courage to do so. But last night I walked over to where I was going to go sit, and he happened to be there. So this time I did go ahead and I asked him, and he let me sample him playing for a good 20 minutes or so that was pretty cool. Got to talking to the guy. An unexpectedly interesting character, I have to say. He had quite some wild stories to tell me about. And besides him, though, what was crazy to me about this was when I got home afterwards, I was thinking about it, and I realized that was the first real conversation that I've had with a person in real life in like an entire year. Isn't that fucked? Like, I could think of only one other conversation I had had with somebody in real life over the past year. Just 2 conversations, that's it. Like, obviously I've spoken plenty of times in many different ways, digitally, through text, even phone calls, but like in person, I have had only 2 real conversations. Absolutely crazy. And I could feel, I was wondering to myself why those previous nights I had any trouble just walking up to the guy and starting a conversation, because that's not something normally that bothers me at all. I'm not someone who's ever had social anxiety. I get along with people really easily, and I don't mind approaching people or anything like that. But yeah, I didn't do it the first couple of nights, and I was kind of thinking about that, and I've only realized now, and I was thinking inside my own mind as well, how I can feel the desperation that I have for social contact right now. It's definitely something that's been very much missing from my life, how crazy it is, how hardcore I've locked in with just focusing on my game and living by myself and living in my own head. And so anyway, it's really struck me how, I guess it makes sense that, you know what, man, you go that long without really interacting with people, it fucks with you, it changes you. It's like a skill to some degree. And if you are out of practice for like a whole year, you do get kind of nervous about it, and you're like, and even worse is when much of your interaction is coming from being on the internet and just reading internet comments and shit all the time, which it gives you almost some insight into people who are extremely socially isolated and they become very radicalized. Like, all your experiences become so disconnected from reality, and your perceptions of people is so heavily based on interactions with people on the internet, which is like the worst forms of human interactions. Just like the dumbest, most insane, antisocial people, all spewing their dumbass, poorly thought out thoughts and opinions and arguing over bullshit and all this kind of stuff. It makes you extremely cynical. So yeah, I think the combination of that and just the lack of interacting with people, I realized, holy shit, it actually got to me. Like, something that was never ever a problem for me before suddenly gave me a little bit of pause, and I had to make a conscious effort to get back into it. But I'm okay now. It felt almost like a relief after having a conversation with that guy, like some burden had been lifted off of my soul, and I'm like, all right, I need to do this more often. I need to get back out there and just talk to people. So yeah, anyway, cool experience. It was pretty fun. Maybe I'll run into him again. He seems to be out there pretty often at night, although I've already gone today. He wasn't there, but it's all right. Either way, I need to, maybe at the end of this month or something, I'll start hitting up the jazz bar once a week or something, maybe on the weekends, and just to talk to random people and get out and do something. Stop being so locked up in my own head. It helps also, as I mentioned previously, that I've completely stopped reading internet comments, and I stopped myself from doing so. I'm abstaining, almost like a drug or something. Any form of reading people's opinions on the internet, I don't do it anymore. And I already feel way better off because of that, for so many different reasons. Just the lack of cynicism and the lack of reading stupid people's shit and it getting into your head and then ruminating over it and everything. Man, it is so much better not interacting with anything like that. So, looking forward to going out and talking to some more people, getting back into a more normal social life like that. But yeah, man, cool experience. Only other thing that crossed my mind was, I think probably also as a result of the sense of lack of social contact and sense of loneliness, I had a few moments of thinking about reaching out to some people that I knew I shouldn't. You know what I mean? You know, maybe it's kind of like when you're drunk, you know, and you get the urge to drunk text your ex or something like that. I had the temptation to do something like that. That's how lonely it got. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not stooping to that level of not embarrassing myself. So I haven't done anything like that. Thanks to this experience, I've gotten a little pressure off my chest, and now I realize, like, all right, I really do need to just get out there and talk to people, random people. I don't even need like a close friend here, you know. I just literally just need any person out there. Just approach them and talk to them randomly, and I'm good to go. Just be more open that way, you know. It's just stimulating. There's so much you don't realize how much of your mind becomes active when you're interacting with other people, like the reading of facial expressions and body language and the thinking on the fly, on the spot, keeping a conversation going, all of that. It really exercises your mind, and I can see the importance of it for the well-being of your mental health. And, well, it makes sense. We did evolve to be social creatures after all, right? So, yeah. New priority. I've added many priorities to my lists recently, and I've been keeping up with them, I think, pretty well. New priority, interact with more people, in real life, specifically. And, yeah. That's all I got for tonight. Gonna work on making these videos now and start experimenting with them a bit. I'm on schedule. I was a little slightly sad today. I get into that mood sometimes, but mostly I associate it with not getting a good night's sleep. And that's been happening to me the past few nights, but that's not because I screwed up my schedule and not because I'm going to bed late anymore. I actually am running on time and I'm very locked in, but even though I get into bed at like 11 o'clock, man, I end up tossing and turning for a good couple hours. Just my mind is, I have one of those minds that tends to race a lot, you know, so I've gotten a lot better at being able to calm my mind if I make a conscious effort. I meditate a lot when I'm at the park, so that's helped as well. So I think I just need to learn to emphasize that more, make a more conscious effort to do that and not allow myself to get sucked into certain kinds of thoughts late at night. I think, as I mentioned before, one thing I still gotta fix that I haven't yet is screen time right before bed. I think that can be a part of what gets my mind going. So I think if I shut everything off and get to reading like I said I should, that should be able to help me. All right, that's it for now.